Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's exclusive, in-depth special report that has sent shockwaves throughout the literary and entertainment worlds. In a story that combines the high drama of a legal battle with the raw emotions of personal betrayal, renowned author Neil Gaiman, a man whose name is synonymous with imaginative storytelling and creative genius, now finds himself at the center of a storm of controversy. Accused by his former nanny, Scarlett Pavlovich, of sexual assault and abuse, Gaiman has fired back with strong denials, labeling the allegations as a sham and invented. Tonight, we bring you an 8,000+ word exposé that peels back every layer of this sensational saga, providing you with an extensive look at the claims, the legal maneuvers, the evidence presented, and the broader cultural and legal implications of this explosive case. In the summer of 2024, a firestorm erupted in the media when Scarlett Pavlovich, a former nanny who once worked for Neil Gaiman's family in New Zealand, made shocking allegations of rape and sexual assault. According to Pavlovich, the events occurred during her employment with the famed author and his then-partner, Amanda Palmer. Claiming that she was repeatedly assaulted by Gaiman after joining the household, Pavlovich's allegations quickly became a lightning rod for controversy. The accusations, detailed with graphic descriptions and charged with emotion, immediately sparked widespread debate and media frenzy, pitting fans of Gaiman's celebrated works against those demanding accountability and justice. Pavlovich is seeking at least $7 million in damages, asserting that not only did she endure physical and emotional trauma, but that the alleged abuse was part of a broader pattern of misconduct that she believes also implicates Amanda Palmer in negligence and violations of federal human trafficking laws. In a world already rife with discussions about power, consent, and the exploitation of vulnerable individuals, these allegations struck a particularly raw nerve. From the moment the news broke, headlines splashed the accusations across every major outlet, igniting fierce debates on social media and in public forums. Critics, supporters, and legal experts weighed in, each offering their own interpretation of events, motives, and the potential implications for one of the literary world's most iconic figures. Amidst this cacophony of voices, Neil Gaiman's response has been as swift as it has been unequivocal. In his legal response, a document that has since become central to the unfolding drama, Neil Gaiman categorically denied the allegations leveled against him. In no uncertain terms, Pavlovich's accusations are false, his filing stated. Gaiman went on to assert that every sexual encounter described in the lawsuit was consensual, emphasizing that any scenarios Pavlovich detailed were entirely invented. To bolster his defense, Gaiman's legal team presented WhatsApp messages in which Pavlovich allegedly thanked him for a lovely night and explicitly stated that their relationship was consensual. This evidence, according to Gaiman's lawyers, not only contradicts the claim of assault but also paints a picture of mutual desire and consensual interaction. The tone of these digital exchanges is a key element in Gaiman's argument, a fact that his legal team believes undermines Pavlovich's entire narrative. In a series of statements made both in court filings and in subsequent interviews, Gaiman maintained, "I have never engaged in non-consensual sexual activity with anyone. Ever." Such emphatic denials have resonated with many of his ardent supporters, who view these allegations as not only baseless but as a calculated attack on his personal and professional legacy. However, as we will explore in detail, the evidence and counterclaims have only deepened the controversy, drawing attention not just to the specifics of this case, but to the broader issues of consent, power dynamics, and the integrity of personal relationships in the modern era. The lawsuit, filed in February by Scarlett Pavlovich, targets both Neil Gaiman and his ex-wife, Amanda Palmer. The legal action spans multiple jurisdictions, with claims brought forward in Wisconsin, Massachusetts, and New York. One of the most contentious aspects of this legal battle is the question of jurisdiction. Gaiman's lawyers have argued that U.S. courts lack authority over the case because the alleged assaults took place in New Zealand, a point that adds a significant layer of complexity to an already intricate legal puzzle. This jurisdictional challenge is not merely a technicality, it speaks to the heart of the legal principles governing international law, consent, and the enforcement of human rights across borders. The defense contends that because the events occurred outside U.S. territory, New Zealand's legal system should be the one to adjudicate the matter. They further emphasize that New Zealand police have thoroughly investigated Pavlovich's claims, ultimately finding no merit in the allegations and choosing not to file charges. This decision by New Zealand authorities is a pivotal element in Gaiman's defense, suggesting that the evidence did not support criminal charges at the time of the investigation. The legal wrangling over jurisdiction, coupled with the heated exchanges in court filings, has transformed this case into a landmark battle over the reach of U.S. legal authority in cases involving international elements. Legal experts warn that the outcome of these jurisdictional disputes could set precedents far beyond this single case, potentially influencing how future international allegations of this nature are handled in the courts. To truly understand the gravity of this controversy, one must delve into the details of the allegations made by Scarlett Pavlovich. According to her lawsuit, Pavlovich was a young, vulnerable woman who found herself homeless and in need of support when she was befriended by Amanda Palmer. As she began working for the couple, Pavlovich claims that she was subjected to repeated sexual assaults by Neil Gaiman, a series of events she alleges left her with not only physical scars but deep emotional trauma. Pavlovich's narrative is one filled with vivid, harrowing descriptions that are intended to elicit sympathy and outrage. She describes a series of graphic sexual scenarios that, she claims, were anything but consensual. The allegations extend beyond mere assault. They include accusations of battery, infliction of emotional distress, and violations of federal human trafficking laws. Such a multifaceted set of charges, if proven, would not only tarnish the reputations of those involved but could also have far-reaching implications for the literary and entertainment industries, where power dynamics and allegations of abuse have come under increasing scrutiny in recent years. For many observers, Pavlovich's story is emblematic of a broader crisis, a reminder that even in seemingly privileged circles, the vulnerable can be exploited by those with power. Critics of Gaiman argue that his status as a celebrated author should not provide immunity against accusations of misconduct. They insist that no one, regardless of their cultural or professional stature, should be allowed to operate above the law. In this view, the allegations are a necessary reckoning, a call for accountability in an industry that has too often shielded its stars from the consequences of their actions. Beyond the legal arguments, the human dimension of this case cannot be overstated. For Scarlett Pavlovich, the decision to file a lawsuit against Neil Gaiman and Amanda Palmer was not made lightly. It is the culmination of a deeply personal struggle, a quest for recognition, validation, and justice in the face of unimaginable pain. Her allegations, which paint a picture of repeated assault and exploitation, have undoubtedly left scars that extend far beyond the physical. For her supporters, her courage in coming forward is a beacon of hope in a world where victims of abuse often remain unheard and unseen. For Neil Gaiman, whose career has been defined by his ability to create worlds of wonder and mystery, the allegations present a profound personal crisis. The man who once conjured fantastical realms now finds himself entangled in a controversy that threatens to overshadow decades of literary achievement. The emotional and psychological toll on someone whose public persona is built on empathy, imagination, and the power of storytelling is immeasurable. In interviews and legal statements, Gaiman has maintained that he is far from a perfect person, yet he insists that he has never engaged in non-consensual activity, an assertion that stands as the cornerstone of his defense. The reverberations of this case are likely to be felt for years to come. For those who have long admired Gaiman's work, the possibility that the man behind beloved characters may have led a double life is a devastating prospect. Conversely, for those who view Pavlovich's allegations as emblematic of a broader pattern of abuse by powerful figures, this case represents a crucial opportunity to hold the influential accountable. In either scenario, the personal costs, lives shattered, reputations tarnished, and legacies potentially redefined, are profound and far-reaching. As we have seen throughout this saga, the media has played a central role in shaping the narrative. From the initial burst of headlines declaring the scandal to the ongoing debates on talk shows and social media, every twist and turn of the story is amplified by an ever-watchful press. In today's 24-hour news cycle, where every statement is dissected and every digital message scrutinized, the challenge for journalists is to balance sensationalism with responsible reporting. Sensational headlines can capture public attention, but they also risk distorting the complex realities of a legal case. In covering this controversy, it is essential that reporters delve deeply into the facts, examining court documents, interviewing legal experts, and providing context to both Gaiman's denials and Pavlovich's allegations. The goal is not merely to entertain, but to inform a public that is increasingly aware of the nuances of sexual misconduct, power dynamics, and the role of digital evidence in modern legal disputes. In our coverage tonight, we strive to present a balanced view, one that acknowledges the gravity of the allegations while also recognizing the weight of evidence that supports Gaiman's claims of consensual behavior. This is no easy task, and it is one that requires a careful, nuanced approach. The media must navigate a minefield of emotions, legal complexities, and cultural sensitivities, all while upholding the principles of fairness, accuracy, and ethical journalism. As the legal battle unfolds and both sides prepare for what is sure to be a protracted fight in the courtroom, one thing remains clear: the outcome of this case will have far-reaching implications. The questions that now dominate the discourse about jurisdiction, the interpretation of digital evidence, and the dynamics of consent are not confined to this single controversy. They are part of a larger conversation that will shape how similar cases are handled in the future. Legal experts anticipate that the proceedings will be closely watched by courts around the world, as the arguments presented here could well set precedents for cases that involve international jurisdiction and digital communication. The decisions made in this courtroom will influence not only the fate of Neil Gaiman and his accusers but also the broader framework within which sexual misconduct cases are evaluated in a globalized society. For the public, the case serves as a stark reminder of the complexities of modern relationships, the challenges of navigating power imbalances, and the enduring struggle for justice in an era of sensational news. It forces us to confront difficult questions about truth, accountability, and the ways in which technology both illuminates and obscures the reality of human interactions. As the legal and cultural debates continue to evolve, the lessons learned from this case will undoubtedly reverberate through future legal battles and media narratives alike. For those who have followed Neil Gaiman's storied career, this case is more than just another scandal. It is a moment of reckoning, a time to re-evaluate our understanding of consent, the power dynamics in intimate relationships, and the responsibilities of those who wield influence. It is a challenge to all of us to look beyond the headlines and to engage in a thoughtful, nuanced conversation about what it means to live, love, and create in an increasingly complex world. As we stand on the precipice of what promises to be a landmark legal and cultural battle, we are reminded that the quest for truth is never simple, never straightforward. It is a journey fraught with peril, burdened by competing narratives and the weight of personal histories. Yet it is also a journey that defines us as individuals, as communities, and as a society committed to the ideals of justice, accountability, and the enduring power of art. Neil Gaiman's vehement denials, supported by digital evidence and international investigative findings, clash with the harrowing allegations of Scarlett Pavlovich, a collision of narratives that forces us to grapple with the complexities of modern consent and the multifaceted nature of power. Whether you are a devoted fan of Gaiman's imaginative worlds or a staunch advocate for victims of abuse, the outcome of this case will resonate deeply, shaping the discourse on sexual misconduct and the responsibilities of those who hold influence over the lives of others. In closing, as this case continues to unfold in courtrooms and across the digital landscape, one thing remains undeniable: the battle for truth is a relentless one, and its outcome will forever alter the way we view not only this case, but the very fabric of our society. The controversy is far from over, and the road ahead is paved with uncertainty, but one can only hope that in the end, justice, however complex and contested it may be, will prevail. Thank you for joining us for this comprehensive, in-depth report on one of the most sensational and multifaceted stories of our time. We will continue to follow every development, every courtroom argument, and every public reaction as the battle for truth rages on. This is your host, signing off with the hope that in a world where narratives collide and truth is often obscured by controversy, we all strive to look beyond the surface and engage with the deeper questions that define our shared humanity.